Let's practice a mindfulness meditation to deal with physical pain. First, allow yourself to find the most comfortable position for you. It can be lying down, it can be sitting up. So just take a moment to find that position for yourself. Allow yourself to move around a little bit and relieve any discomfort that you might be feeling. If you're comfortable with it, go ahead and close your eyes. Begin to notice any support you're receiving from what you're lying or sitting on. Paying special attention to any sensations of support. If you're sitting, notice how your feet are making contact with the floor and how your buttocks are supported by the chair or cushion. Notice how your arms and hands are resting. And if you're lying down, noticing how you're supported by the floor or bed, how your upper body, arms, legs, and feet are making contact with the bed or floor. Regardless of your position, allowing your weight to sink down through these points of contact, and wherever possible, letting any tension drain down into the support and beyond. As you're sitting or lying there, letting any thoughts or images go, just feeling supported by whatever is beneath you. And when you're ready, actually noticing the breath, feeling the breath through the movement of your belly or chest or shoulders. Noticing how the whole body expands a little on the breath in and relaxes a little on the breath out. Just letting your breath be your breath. Knowing that you're breathing just fine. Observing your breath like you'd notice the waves on the seashore. Watch the breath go out and come back in and flow back out again in its own time. Like the waves smoothing the sand as it comes in and out. You would never demand that the waves move faster or slower, or be bigger or smaller. You would just enjoy watching the waves, and in the same way, allowing your breath to be just as it is, letting the breath breathe itself. And now turning your attention to a physical condition that might be troubling you, something that's not the way that you'd like it to be physically. Perhaps it is chronic pain, something that's almost always there. Or it could be a painful injury or surgery that hasn't quite healed. Or just a simple ache or pain, like a sore wrist or elbow. Taking your time and letting yourself get a sense of the area. There's no wrong choice. Whatever you choose is going to be right for this meditation. Once you've found an area of the body you'd like to work with, see if it's possible to get curious about this area, dropping the natural tendency to move your attention away from it, but instead paying attention in a special way with kindness and gentleness. The way you might be with a loved one who is having some physical discomfort. Notice how you would describe this sensation. Saying it's painful is not all that descriptive, so see if you can identify specific types of sensation. For instance, noticing if it is sharp or cutting, dull or throbbing, burning, constricted, pressure or tightness, achiness. Noticing sensations simply as sensations. Exploring this area with an attitude of tenderness and curiosity. You could ask yourself, how big is this area of discomfort? Is it the size of a marble or a baseball or the size of a football? How thick or thin is it? Is it as thin as a piece of paper or as thick as a book? Or maybe it varies. If the sensation had a texture, how would you describe it? Is it hard like concrete, rigid, but with some give like wood? Is it soft like a sponge or fluid like water or oil? What is the shape of this area? Does it have a certain geometry? Where are the boundaries? Spend a moment at the boundaries, at the edges, that area where if you went further out, there's less or no discomfort. Experimenting with just being right at the boundary. Seeing if you can let the area just beyond the edge soften and relax. This area around the difficult part. You're not trying to change the area of the difficulty or the discomfort itself, but just putting your attention at the edges, letting there be a softening there. As you're beginning to pay attention to the physical sensations and images associated with them, see if you can identify the feeling you have about having this physical condition. Is there anger about it? Does it feel unfair? Is there fear that it might not get better or that it might get worse? Is there a sadness about how it's limiting you? Impatience, confusion? Just notice what the feelings are in your own words. If it's possible for you, see if you can soften your reaction to the physical condition with gentle breaths. See if you can be with it in the same way you would be with a child or a pet you love, but who's in distress. And you know if this were the case, you would do it with tenderness, with gentleness. You wouldn't demand that your loved one respond differently than they are. And if you'd like, you can even place your hand where the discomfort is, if that's possible, or on your heart or belly, meeting this experience with kindness, recognizing that this would be difficult or painful or challenging for anyone. Holding it and yourself gently and with compassion. Taking your time with it. There is no rush. This is softening and allowing. Softening of your reaction to the feeling you're having, allowing that reaction to be there, and allowing the feeling itself to be there. All the while knowing that allowing it to be there doesn't mean that you like it. It is simply an acknowledgement that this is what you're feeling right now. And as you do this, you may feel sensations and feelings coming and going, and you may notice, if you pay close attention, that there is movement. Change from movement, from moment to moment, maybe a tightening or a loosening. You may notice heat or waves of energy, or images or impressions that may emerge. Through all of it, seeing if you can bring a sense of kindness, curiosity, and compassion to your exploration. And spending enough time here to make contact with what you're noticing and feeling, but not so much that you become overwhelmed by it. And at any time, if you do feel overwhelmed, just return to the breath, or simply sense into the physical support that you have from the chair or floor. And if it's still too much, you can always pause or stop the meditation and open your eyes, look around the room, and ground yourself to what is present. And now, without trying to push the difficult sensations away, we're going to begin an exploration for somewhere in your body that is not in pain. seeing if you can find a neutral or even pleasurable sensation somewhere in your body. Expanding your awareness beyond the area of discomfort, beginning by bringing awareness to the movement of the breath, allowing your discomfort to be soothed by the rhythm of the breath, allowing your body to rest deeply into what is supporting it. And as you begin the exploration, scanning your body, noticing what's there and pausing when you find something pleasurable or pleasingly neutral, sensing into your toes, your feet, your lower leg, your thighs, your hips, your stomach, your chest and shoulders, your arms, your hands, your neck, your face and your head. Looking for pleasant sensations, no matter how subtle they might be. Like you are an explorer looking for hidden treasures. It could be a sense of warmth in your hands, a pleasant tingling somewhere in your body, maybe a sense of release as you sink into your support. Or maybe you're just now noticing that your right big toe or lower arm is pain-free. Just spending some time moving through your body with awareness, and pause where you find something pleasurable or neutral. And if you're having difficulty finding some place in the body that feels okay, you might just simply place your hand somewhere on your shoulder or chest or head, the way you might comfort someone you care about. And if that touch felt comforting, sensing into that area. Or you might recall a time when someone you know was loving and kind to you. And imagine they're close to you now, holding or supporting you. Noticing how that feels in your body. Maybe you feel a warmth in your middle or a softness around your heart. You might even remember a time when you were kind to someone and remember the feelings that that evoked in you and feel those feelings now. You can even feel free to open your eyes and find something comforting or pleasant in your environment. Letting yourself spend some time feeling a sense of pleasantness. When you do this on your own, you can stay in this moment of pleasantness for as long as you like. And if you do find yourself being drawn back to the painful area, there's no need to fight it, but just allow yourself some soft breaths, breathing into the area of your body with gentleness and kindness. And when you're ready or able to, gently bringing your awareness back to the pleasant or neutral area of the body or in your environment. Perhaps allowing your breath to be between those two areas, the area of the pleasant and the unpleasant. Just feeling the rhythm of your breath, the soft breath. Breathing into both the pleasant and the unpleasant with gentleness and kindness. And as you do this, you may notice that things feel a bit different than they did before, that they're actually more fluid and dynamic instead of solid or fixed. And when you're ready, seeing if you can broaden your awareness like panning out with a wide angle lens, including both the pleasant area and the difficult one, so wide that there's enough space for both of them to exist without pushing the difficult part away or clinging to the pleasant part. Shifting to an even wider and more inclusive perspective that includes both the pleasant and the unpleasant, including the entire body and all its sensations. And when you're ready, moving wider still to include in your awareness the room or area you're sitting or lying in. Even noticing the widening of your awareness, that sense of space, freedom, and capacity for change and movement. Spending a little time here with this wider perspective. And if it's not too much of a stretch, seeing if you can expand your awareness to include the building or natural setting you're in. And even wider, to include your neighborhood, your town or your city, the region of the country. The physical discomfort may not have diminished significantly, but it's now part of something much bigger. And as your awareness expands even further to include the entire world, if that's possible for you, recognize that at this very moment, there are others who are experiencing the same kind of pain or discomfort that you have been. And in this way, you are not alone. Out of the many millions, billions of people, it is certainly true that some of them are experiencing the same pain or difficulty as you are, with the same or even more intensity. The pains, the fears, the worries are not yours alone, but are in fact shared by others, feeling the very same thing at literally the very same time as you are. You are not alone. If it seems possible for you, you might see if you can imagine your awareness expanding even further, seeing the Earth from space the way an astronaut might. That beautiful blue-white sphere against a velvety black backdrop with no visible borders, seamless, whole, alive, and so precious. Seeing the Earth as a beautiful glowing jewel suspended in space. When you're ready, letting your awareness gradually return to your part of the world, to you, your body, how you are right now, feeling and sensing how it is to be in your body. Coming back to just you, but with awareness still wide enough to hold both the difficulties and pleasures of the body and your life. Seeing if you can bring gentleness and kindness to whatever you're feeling right now, holding yourself with compassion and understanding, and spending the next few unguided moments resting deep in the body and in the breath, allowing any discomfort or unease to be soothed by the rhythm of the breath, again and again and again. We're near the end of this meditation, but if you'd like to stay here longer, simply click off the recording and stay here for a while. When you're ready, slowly opening your eyes if they've been closed, letting your attention move to the outside world, taking in sight, sound, and sensation. Gently beginning to move your body and re-engage with the world. And in the minutes, hours, and days that follow, seeing if you can bring a fresh sense of curiosity, opening, and kindness to all you encounter within yourself and beyond.